hello, that's too plain. We say Jumbo, so Jumbo, everybody. How are y'all doing today? Well, you all look beautiful back there in all of your craters. Well, my name is Shelby, and I'm so excited to be your safari driver as we go out through the next 2 weeks. And I hope you guys brought snacks, because I think I forgot some. Now, I do have one request, and that request is very much for your safety, as well as the safety of all the animals we're going to see. I'm going to need you all to remain completely seated at all times. Here's the thing. It's really bumpy out there, and I love potholes, so if I see them, I'm going to hit them, and if I don't hit them, I'm going to reverse, and then I'm going to hit them again. So it doesn't work out well when you stand up, because you're going to get catapulted out of this truck, and then I'll be like, bye, because we can't stop for anything that falls from the truck, even you. I know, it's kind of sad. But look above your heads, because that's your animal spotting guide. And I can't promise you every single one of those animals, but we're going to try our best to see most of them. And I cannot stop for every single animal that we see. But switch your camera onto a sports or an action mode. That'll give you the best pictures because they're real. They're moving all the time. But now, we start off in the reserve in the Little Ituri Forest. And the forest is home to some very, very, very camouflaged animals. So keep your eyes peeled because we don't know where they're going to show up at. Well, look over here to the right-hand side, everybody. It's brown, it's black and white. It's an okapi. Now, okapis are very shy. We didn't even know they existed until about 1901. It's hiding all the way out in the back. You're going to notice that little animal near the tree trunk. That is a yellow-backed duiker. And it gets its name from that yellow patch that's on its back, and it actually has this really cool defense mechanism. So what happens is, when someone scares that duiker, it lets out this really loud whistling sound. That yellow patch on its back stands straight up in the air, and then it dramatically runs away. Yeah, I know, that's what you're thinking. Pretty neat, though. Well, let's keep going. Let's see what else we find, because it looks like these animals are hiding just a little bit. We're going to go around the watering hole. Let's try to find a black rhino as we go. Now, black rhinos, there's only 5,000 of them out in the world today. That makes them very hard to spot. They're poached for their horns, and everybody knows what a rhino's horn. Ate rhino horn, and you're like, man, you ate hair and fingernails. That's a little bit weird. But there is a black rhino up ahead, so let's go stop for it. Now, you can tell black rhinos from other species of rhinos because black rhinos, they have what's called a prehensile lip, and they have a triangle mouth. And that prehensile lip, it acts sort of like a finger. It allows the rhinos to grip onto some very fine things, cool leaves and things from trees. I'm listening for you all. He's like, what? We're interrupting his eating, so I guess we'll, oh, no, he seems like he's okay with it now. We'll keep moving. Now you're going to notice these little light brown animals. These are greater kudu. They're the second tallest antelope out in Africa. And these are all females. I can tell you that because they do not have any horns. Out here with the greater kudu, you'll notice that cinnamon brown animal. Those are bongos. And if you look up in the trees, you'll notice that tiny one with no horns. That's a baby bongo. Now, bongos are called the ghosts of the forest, and the reason for that is their horns. The horns slightly push backwards, and that allows the bongos to move quickly but silently through trees and things without becoming tangled. Now, if you look over here on the left-hand side, you'll notice that black and white bird. That is a saddle-billed stork. They either live alone or in pairs, and once they find a pair, they pair for life. They get their nail shape. But now I'm going to swing us down towards the Safi River. And the Safi River is our best chance of seeing my favorite animal, so I'm a little bit partial to this place. It is the hippo. Now the Safi River, it stretches on from right to left, so if we don't see them on the right, or if we do see them but can't stop on the right, Hakuna Matata, because we'll stop on down. Now when hippos are born, they weigh 85 pounds. By the time an adult male's finished growing, it will weigh 5,500 pounds. And there are some over here on the right-hand side, but we're going to move on down to try to spot them on the left. But males will weigh 5,500 pounds by the time they're finished growing. But don't let that size fool you. They're pretty good swimmers. And there are hippos over here on the left-hand side, everyone. Now, a group of hippos is called a bloat, and as we move around, we'll get a better view of this bloat. They can hold their breath at their backs during their mating season. They're one of the smallest out of the 7 species of pelican. And there's more of that bloat.
Wow!
Now hippos, they stay submerged during the day usually. They'll come out at night to graze along the riverbanks. And in one night, one hippo can walk 6 miles just to find food. Hi everyone, will you do me a favor and put your child in your lap, please? Thank you. bridge. Stay seated, stay seated. Those people must be crazy. Now, Nile crocodiles, they can be as long as a giraffe is tall. That's 20 feet long. And they can run at speeds of up to 10 miles per hour. And our truck only goes 8. So we're going to move on out. We're going to go down to the savannah. We're going to try to see some giraffes and maybe even some lions while we're out here. So just remember for me, everyone, it is for your safety that you remain seated. Now look over here on the right-hand side. You're going to notice a baobab tree. The baobab tree is called the upside-down tree out in Africa. That's because its branches look like roots. And those trees remain leafless for about 9 months out of the year. But this is by far the best view in all of Africa. And I want to show you all these animals right here. Left-hand side, very close to us. These are sable antelope. Now, you've probably seen their outline before. They're actually the official emblem of the Harambe Wildlife Reserve. The only way we have to tell sable antelope apart is by their color. So if they're a light brown like the ones we're seeing right down there, they're probably a female or a calf. If they're chocolate brown, they're probably a male. But if they're black, that means they're a dominant male. It means they're sort of the leader. But anyway, like I was saying, these are the Serengeti grasslands. They stretch on for miles and miles and miles, and they're a super highway for millions of animals, just like those sable antelopes, to migrate through. And this is the wild Africa we're working so hard to protect. But let's keep moving. Let's see what else we can find out here. You know, one of the things that's really, really neat about this landscape is that the animals here all created themselves. Elephants act like bulldozers, and they push down really tall trees, and that allows for new trees to come through. Giraffes act like pruning shears, and they eat from the tallest of the trees, and that allows for even more light to flood through onto the savanna floor. And then those sable antelope and other animals, they act like lawnmowers. They make sure the grasses are trimmed down. What's neat is that there's enough food for everyone in this ecosystem. Now, if hippos are my favorite animal, these little water buck like we're about to see on the left-hand side, they come this far behind. There's 2 females and a male. The male has horns while the female does not. And water buck are really neat. They actually have this very special gland in their bodies. And what it does is it allows for the water buck to become waterproof. So essentially, if a lion or anything is coming through at them, they can run into the water and the lion probably will not follow them. So it's sort of like a neat little protection they have. But these are termite mounds on either side of the truck. Termites, I don't know if you all have seen, it's tough to be a bug. But, you know, they do a lot for our ecosystem. What they do for the other animals is that they build their mounds. And they build the mounds up tall. And what happens is elephants see those mounds and think, that's probably a really good place to scratch. And so they scratch on those mounds, it wears the mounds down. And then those little water buck that we saw back there, they see that place and they're like, hey, I'll sit on top of that and I'll search for any predators. And so really, just by being a bug, they have done a service to all the other animals. Now we are coming up on some Ankole cattle. These are the brown cattle with the very long horns. They were domesticated by the Watusi tribe out in Africa. They're the only domesticated animal on the reserve. And I want you all to look up on the left-hand side. There's something tall eating from those trees. And there's more up ahead, so we're not really going to stop for this one. But this is a giraffe. This is a reticulated giraffe, and it gets its name from the Latin word reticulata. That means net. And as we swing around this bend, hopefully we'll catch up with the giraffes. Now you may think the horns of the Ankole cattle are very heavy. They're actually not. They're more of a honeycomb-like structure on the inside. What they do is they act like the cattle's own personal AC.